Welcome, everyone. Today, we're giving you something that could wake you up, something that could shake your soul and make you ask the one question most people avoid. Am I really living, or am I just breathing? Because what you're about to hear is not motivation. It's a reminder of your mortality and the brutal truth that time doesn't wait. So lean in, close every other tab. This might be the moment your life changes. There was a study done inside a hospital. 100 elderly people standing at the edge of life. 100 human beings just days away from death. They were asked one final question. What is your biggest regret? And guess what? None of them mentioned money. None of them mentioned fame. Not even failure. All of them said the same thing. I wish I had taken more risks. I wish I had chased my dream. I wish I had lived for me. Isn't that terrifying? They didn't regret what they did. They regretted what they didn't do. Look around you. The world is full of people with lungs breathing, hearts beating, clocks ticking. But most of them are already dead. Dead dreams, dead passion, dead courage, dead inside. They wake up just to go to work. They laugh on weekends to survive Mondays. They scroll, they copy, they wait for someday. And they call that a life. But let me tell you something, living is not what you do from 9 to 5. Living is not the job title you write on your resume. It's not the car, not the house, not the likes, not the weekend escape. No, living is what wakes you up at 4 a.m. with fire in your chest. Living is risking comfort to chase meaning, saying no to what's easy and yes to what makes your soul scream. You live when you choose courage over comfort, when you speak your truth, when you walk alone if you have to. You live when you stop waiting for permission, because someday they'll bury your body. But many of you have already buried your heart. The dreams you had at 16, are they still alive? That version of you who wanted more, is he still breathing? Or did the world convince you to give up? Slowly. Listen to me. You only get one life, one shot. And the saddest part? Most people will die without ever living it, but not you. Because today, you're going to learn exactly how to live. Stay with me. What comes next will change you. This video will also help you improve your English and change the way you see life. Subscribe now, and let's begin. Chapter 1. Perception and Psychology. Change your mind, change your life. Most people are not trapped in a job, not trapped in poverty, not even trapped in their circumstances. They are trapped in their own mind. If your perception is broken, your whole life feels broken, even when nothing is. And if your perception is clear, you can walk through fire and still feel like you're free. The first secret to truly living, not just surviving, is this. You must reprogram the way you see the world. What is perception? Perception is not reality, but it shapes your reality. Two people can live the same day. One calls it a disaster. The other calls it a lesson. One sees failure and breaks. The other sees failure and builds. One sees a heartbreak and gives up on love. The other sees heartbreak and realizes what they truly value. So the question is never, what happened to you? The question is, what meaning did you give it? That meaning, that story you tell yourself, becomes your life. Imagine this. Two kids grow up in the same house. Their father is abusive, angry, cold, never said, I love you. Years later, the first child says, I'm this way because of my dad. He ruined my life. I'm angry, afraid, and broken. The second child says, I'm this way because of my dad. He taught me who I never want to become. So I became kind, patient, and gentle. Same house, same pain, different perception. That's the power of psychology. That's the power of the human mind. You can either let your pain define you, or you can use it to design you. Everything you see is filtered through the lens of your past beliefs. If someone compliments you, but your lens says, "I'm not worthy," you'll reject it. If someone loves you, but your lens says, "I'm not lovable," you'll sabotage it. So the real enemy isn't the world. It's the lens. Fix the lens, and the whole world looks different. This is why people with nothing can be grateful, and people with everything can still be depressed. It's not what you have. It's how you think. You don't see the world as it is. You see it as you are. If your internal world is full of fear, then even kindness feels suspicious. Even opportunities feel like traps. But if your internal world is full of clarity and purpose, then even failure feels like growth. Even endings feel like beginnings. You want to live fully? Fix your perception. And how do you do that? The 3 powerful shifts to change your psychology. 1. Ask better questions. Stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" Start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" 2. Interrupt the negative story. Whenever you hear yourself say, "I'm not good enough," "People like me don't succeed," "I always fail," stop, breathe. Say, "That's just a story. I can write a better one." 3. Surround yourself with better mirrors. You believe what you hear the most. If you're surrounded by small thinkers, negative people, or fearful voices, you'll start to shrink. But if you surround yourself with those who believe in something bigger, you'll start to grow. You want to live a real life? You want to wake up and feel alive again? Then stop waiting for the world to change. Start by changing your mind. Because the prison you're in, most likely you built it. And the freedom you crave, it begins with how you choose to see. Everyone dies, but not everyone rewrites the story in their mind. Start there. Live begins in the brain. Chapter 2. Relationship Dynamics. Who you keep shapes who you become. Let me ask you something personal. When you walk into a room full of your so-called friends, do you feel seen? Do you feel inspired? Or do you feel like you need to shrink yourself to be accepted? Because the truth is, you don't just grow by yourself, you grow through who you're around. There's a famous truth in psychology. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So look around. If they're negative, scared, bitter, complaining, you will become that too, even if you're not like that now. If they laugh at your dreams, you'll start to feel like your dreams are too big. If they secretly hate you but still hang out with you, you'll start to question your own worth without even knowing why. Relationships shape identity. When you spend time with someone, you don't just share words. You share energy. You absorb their beliefs. You imitate their habits. You mirror their standards. If you're surrounded by people who normalize laziness, you'll feel guilty for being ambitious. If you're around people who mock healing, growth, or deep thinking, you'll start to feel stupid for wanting to evolve. That's not friendship. That's slow poison. Growth has a price, and that price is often loneliness. For a little while. But let me be brutally honest with you. If you don't leave the wrong people, you'll never find the right ones. You'll stay trapped in average, in guilt, in circles that celebrate the past, but never build the future. You don't have to hate them. You don't have to fight them. You just have to outgrow them quietly. And you will. A young woman wants to become a writer. But all her friends joke, "Oh, so now you think you're going to be famous? Come on, you can't even write a birthday card properly." She laughs along and stops writing. She meets new people, authors, creators, dreamers. They say, "You should write that. That's a brilliant idea. Let's help you start." In 2 years, she becomes a published author. Same talent, same girl, different circle. 1. Audit your circle. Ask this for every person in your life. Do they expand me or shrink me? Do I feel alive after talking to them or emotionally drained? Would my future self thank me for keeping this connection? 2. Stop forcing loyalty to dead energy. Loyalty is beautiful, but only when it's mutual. If you're always the one giving, supporting, saving, but they're never there when you need them, that's not loyalty. That's self-abandonment. 3. Choose alignment over history. Just because you've known them for 10 years doesn't mean they still belong in your next 10. Choose people who align with your future, not those who are comfortable with your past. You are not meant to carry everyone with you. Some people are chapters, some are whole books, and some are just footnotes. If you want to live, truly live, you must protect your energy like your life depends on it. Because it does. Everyone dies, but not everyone chooses who they walk with. Choose wisely, and your life will feel like a rising flame instead of a fading light. Chapter 3. Don't try so hard. Let go to set yourself free. There is a hidden pain in modern life. It's the pain of trying too hard to be someone you're not, trying too hard to be loved, trying too hard to succeed, trying too hard to be enough. And in this struggle, we lose ourselves. The world tells you, work harder, push more, hustle 24/7. But no one tells you the cost of always trying. You lose your peace, you lose your joy, you lose the real you. So here's the truth. Trying too hard is not the way to live. Letting go is. Trying too hard means you don't believe you're enough without the effort. It means your value is tied to outcome, not presence. It means you're addicted to performance, not aligned with purpose. Let me explain. You try to impress people who don't even think about you. You try to prove your worth to those who already doubted you. You try to be strong when you're breaking inside. You try to be perfect so no one leaves. But in all this trying, you stop living. You become a machine, a performance, a mask. There's a beautiful story told by a wise master. A man falls into a river. He struggles, panics, kicks, and gasps. He tries harder and harder to stay afloat. The more he fights, the more he sinks. Until finally he stops. He lets go. And suddenly, he floats. That's life. Sometimes, the harder you try to control everything, the more you drown. But when you release, you rise. It comes from the fear of rejection, not being enough, failure, abandonment, not being loved. So you overcompensate. You become a people pleaser. You become a perfectionist. You fake confidence. You force relationships. You push when you should pause. But real life doesn't reward effort. It rewards alignment. What's the difference between effort and force? Effort is healthy. Force is toxic. Effort feels like energy moving in flow. Force feels like you're dragging yourself through mud. Effort is when you plant the seed and water it with love. Force is when you keep digging it up every day to see if it's grown. Effort is giving your best. Force is never feeling like your best is enough. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means surrendering the need to control what you can't. It means trusting the process, allowing space for grace, knowing that who you are is enough, acting from peace, not panic. You let go of people who left. You let go of outcomes you can't predict. You let go of trying to prove something to the world. And in that letting go, you come back to yourself. Imagine a girl who always tried to be the perfect daughter. Straight A's, no mistakes, smiling always, never complained. But inside, she was exhausted, depressed, crushed. One day, she stopped trying to be perfect. She cried in front of her parents. She told them the truth. She said, "I don't want to be your project. I want to be your child." That day, she didn't lose love. She found it. Because real love starts when you stop performing. You were never born to prove your worth. You were born to live it. Stop trying so hard to be liked, perfect, accepted, enough. You already are. You don't need to hold your breath to be loved. Let go and breathe. Everyone dies. But not everyone lets go of the pressure and finally lives. Chapter 4. Health and Vitality. Energy is the currency of life. Let's be real. You can have all the dreams, all the money, all the opportunity in the world. But if you don't have your health, you have nothing. There is no wealth without health, because without the energy to live, you're only surviving. Most people don't die at 80. They die at 40. When their body breaks down, their mind gives up, and their soul goes numb. But they are still breathing. They call that aging. But that's not aging. That's neglect. If you want to truly live, you must protect your energy. Vitality is more than fitness. It is your life force. It's the reason you wake up with energy or wake up with dread. It's the strength behind your decisions. It's the spark in your eyes, the glow in your skin, the sound of your laughter. And without vitality, life feels like a prison. Let's talk about what's draining you. Processed food that makes your brain foggy. Screens that steal your sleep. Sedentary living that weakens your muscles. Negative thoughts that poison your nervous system. Shallow breathing that limits your oxygen. Relationships that drain your emotional energy. Lack of sunlight, movement, joy. Most people are not tired because of too much work. They are tired because of too little life. They eat lifeless food, live under fluorescent light, sit for 10 hours and scroll for 5. Then they wonder why they're anxious, inflamed, exhausted, and numb. That is not living. That is slow self-destruction. To live a full life, you must take care of all 3. 1. Body. Move every single day, not to lose weight, but to feel alive. Drink water like it's sacred, because it is. Eat real food from the earth, not from a factory. Your body is your home. If you don't clean it, move it, and fuel it, it breaks down. 2. Mind. Your mental diet matters as much as your food. Garbage in, garbage out. Feed your mind with peace, not panic. Read things that expand you. Rest deeply. Think clearly. A calm mind gives birth to a clear life. 3. Spirit. Do you make space for your soul? Do you ever just sit in silence and listen? Breathe deeply. Go outside. Meditate. Pray. Write. Disconnect to reconnect. This isn't spiritual talk. This is real medicine for a tired soul. A successful man earning 6 figures, working 16 hours a day, always on flights. One day he collapsed at his desk. Doctors said, "You're healthy, but completely burnt out." He had money, but no energy. He had status, but no sleep. He had respect, but no peace. He quit for 6 months, started walking in the morning, stopped drinking, ate food that didn't come in plastic, read books, slept, played guitar again, and he said, "This is the first time in 15 years I feel like I'm actually alive." How to build vitality. Starting now. Sleep 7 to 8 hours every night, non-negotiable. Move your body daily. Even a 20-minute walk will change your mood. Eat more plants, fewer chemicals. Food is fuel. Drink more water. Your brain needs hydration. Breathe deeply. 5 times a day. Close your eyes and inhale fully. Limit screens. Don't let blue light steal your light. Connect with nature. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. Protect your energy, physically and emotionally. If you don't make time for wellness, you'll be forced to make time for illness. This life is short, and your body is your vehicle for living it. So treat it like your only home, because it is. Everyone dies, but not everyone protects their energy so they can fully live. If you want to go far, take care of the machine that will carry you. Chapter 5. Discover your life's task. Why you were born. There is something worse than failure, worse than heartbreak, worse than poverty. It is this: living your entire life without ever discovering why you were born. Most people wake up, go to work, come home, scroll through a screen, eat, sleep, repeat. Years pass, and one day they whisper to themselves, "Is this all there is?" They had a fire inside them, a calling, a spark, but they buried it under society's expectations, and now they're surviving a life they never truly chose. Your life's task is the one thing only you can do. It is your unique contribution to the world. The thing that uses your pain, your talent, your past, your passions, your voice. It's not always a job. It's not always something you get paid for. But it is something that gives your life meaning. A person with no task becomes empty. A person with a task becomes invincible. Most people never find it, because they were told, get a safe job. Be realistic. Follow the rules. Don't dream too big. So they traded their gift for a salary. They traded their genius for approval. And now they wonder why they feel hollow inside. It's not because you're broken. It's because you're not aligned. Here are 5 powerful questions to ask. 1. What did I love doing as a child, before the world told me what success is? Go back to what made time disappear. 2. What comes easily to me but seems hard for others? That is your natural zone of genius. 3. What problem am I obsessed with solving even for free? That is your heart's direction. 4. What pain have I survived that I want to help others overcome? That is your emotional calling. 5. If money didn't exist, what would I spend my life doing every day? That is your soul's truth. Write these down. Think deeply. Your purpose isn't lost. It's waiting for you to remember. Don't think you must find it at age 20 or 30. Some people discover it at 50, some at 70. There is no deadline. But there is one rule. If you don't search for it, you'll die with it still inside you. And that is the real tragedy. This world doesn't need more copies. It needs people who come alive. You were not born just to pay bills and die. You were born to build, to express, to heal, to speak, to invent, to inspire. Everyone dies, but not everyone finds out why they lived. Find your task, then give your life to it. That is how you become eternal. Chapter 6. Financial Intelligence. Money doesn't buy life, but it builds freedom. Let's be honest. Money isn't everything, but it touches everything that is. Your health, your relationships, your time, your peace, your ability to give, to create, to explore, to live. All of it depends, in some part, on money. People who say money doesn't matter usually don't have to worry about it. The truth is, financial ignorance kills dreams. Financial intelligence sets you free. It's not just earning more, it's understanding how money works, where it flows, why it disappears, and how to make it work for you instead of against you. Most people are slaves to money. They live paycheck to paycheck, not because they are lazy, but because no one ever taught them how to manage their energy, value, and mindset around money. 3 common lies about money. 1. Money is evil. No, greed is evil. Money is a tool. It magnifies who you already are. 2. If I work harder, I'll become rich. Hard work helps, but smart money grows. Many hard workers stay poor because they never learn about assets, investment, and ownership. 3. I'm just bad with money. No one is born bad with money. You're just untrained. Like a muscle, it can be built. 5 pillars of financial freedom. 1. Learn to save, but not just save. Saving is step 1, but don't hoard. Learn to use that money to grow. 2. Invest early, even in small amounts. Compound interest is real. $10 invested monthly is worth more than 100 saved once. 3. Create multiple income streams. Don't rely on one job. Learn skills that pay you in different ways. Writing, designing, consulting, selling. 4. Understand needs versus wants. Most people are broke not because of poverty, but because of poor priorities. Buy tools, not just toys. Invest in learning, not just lifestyle. 5. Let money serve you, not control you. Use money to buy freedom, not to impress strangers. Don't be afraid to talk about money. The more silent you are about money, the more shame you build. Talk about it, learn about it, ask people, read books, watch videos. Do not stay in the dark. Because poverty isn't just a lack of cash. It's a lack of education, clarity, and strategy. And no one will teach you unless you teach yourself. You can't control the economy. You can't control inflation. But you can control your knowledge. Make money your servant, not your master. Everyone dies. But not everyone becomes financially free enough to truly live. Get free. And help others do the same. Chapter 7. Discipline and Self-Love. The foundation of a powerful life. Most people think self-love means treating yourself, forgiving yourself, or being kind to yourself. And that's true, partly. But the real self-love is much harder. The real self-love is called discipline. Because you can't love yourself fully if you keep breaking the promises you make to yourself. What is discipline? Discipline is not punishment. It is the highest form of respect you can give to yourself. Discipline means showing up when it's easier to quit, saying no when temptations whisper yes, choosing your long-term growth over short-term pleasure, keeping your word even when no one's watching. People who lack discipline often say, "I'll do it tomorrow. I'm just not motivated. I'll start next week." But people with discipline, they act even when they don't feel like it, because they understand. Motivation starts you. Discipline builds you. Self-love is not just bubble baths and positive quotes. It is being honest with yourself. It is setting boundaries. It is saying, "I deserve more, and I will not settle for less." It is choosing foods, people, routines, and habits that honor your future self. Self-love is doing what is right for you, even when it's not popular, easy, or fast. If you say you love yourself but you keep destroying your body, keep wasting your time, keep entertaining disrespect, keep lying to yourself, then that is not love. That is self-abandonment. Every time you wake up early to pursue your goals, you are loving yourself. Every time you go to the gym, eat clean, and push through discomfort, you are loving yourself. Every time you say no to toxic people, you are loving yourself. Every time you sit down and study when you'd rather scroll, you are loving yourself. Discipline is love, not restriction. It is protection. Imagine an alarm clock rings at 6 a.m. A person has two choices: hit snooze, stay in bed, feel guilty later, and rush through the day. The difference is not in talent, intelligence, or luck. It's in discipline. Getting up when you said you would, that is self-respect. That is self-love in action. Every time you follow through on a promise to yourself, even something small, you strengthen your confidence, your clarity, and your power. Discipline is not a punishment. It's the daily proof that you believe in your future. 1. Start with one non-negotiable. Choose one thing you will do daily, no matter what. It could be 10 minutes of reading, 20 push-ups, or waking up at a fixed time. Start small. Build identity. 2. Remove options. If you want to wake up early, don't sleep with your phone beside your bed. If you want to eat clean, don't keep junk in the house. Make the right choice easier. Remove the wrong ones. 3. Track your promises. Keep a journal. Every night write, "Did I keep my promise to myself today?" This will rebuild trust with yourself. 4. Celebrate progress, not perfection. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to keep going. One step at a time is still movement. You can't heal what you continue to harm. And you can't grow into your highest self if you keep making excuses for your lowest self. Everyone dies, but not everyone loves themselves enough to build the life they deserve. If you want real power, real confidence, real freedom, start with discipline. Start with love. Chapter 8. Empathy, the most underrated superpower. In a world obsessed with intelligence, success, and power, there is one trait that is forgotten, but life-changing. It's called empathy. And if you want to truly live, if you want to deeply connect, if you want to leave behind something bigger than money, then you must learn the quiet strength of understanding another human being. What is empathy? Empathy is not sympathy. Sympathy is saying, "I feel bad for you." Empathy is saying, "I may not fully understand your pain, but I'm here with you in it." It is the ability to pause your opinion, step into someone else's story, feel their emotions, and respond from compassion, not judgment. Empathy is not weakness. It is emotional intelligence at its highest level. Empathy heals. It creates space. It ends arguments. It opens hearts. The most influential people in history, from leaders to artists, were not just smart. They were deeply human. Because in the end, people don't remember your resume. They remember how you made them feel. Empathy is what makes life rich, deep, meaningful. Without it, we become machines. Successful maybe, but emotionally dead. 1. Listen without interrupting. Don't listen to reply. Listen to understand. Sometimes people don't need answers. They just need to be heard. 2. Assume the best, not the worst. When someone is cold, maybe they're hurt. When someone is angry, maybe they're scared. Try to see their humanity before you label their behavior. 3. Ask real questions. Are you okay? Do you want to talk about it? What can I do for you? These simple words save people. 4. Empathize with yourself too. Don't just show compassion to others. Be gentle with yourself. Forgive yourself. Understand your own wounds. You can be successful, wealthy, and admired. But if you're cold, arrogant, and selfish, you're not living. You're performing. True living happens in relationships, and relationships grow through empathy. That's how you build love. That's how you become someone worth remembering. The strongest people are not those who hurt the most. They are those who understand the most and still choose kindness. So speak softly, listen deeply, feel openly. Because one day it could be you on the other side. Everyone dies. But not everyone chooses empathy. Not everyone becomes a healer in a world of hurting people. But you can. And that is how you truly live. Chapter 9. Focus on yourself. Not the noise, not the crowd. There is a voice inside you that knows what to do. It's quiet, it's calm, it's honest, but it often gets drowned out by opinions, by pressure, by comparison, by noise. Most people never become who they are. They only become what the world told them to be. Because instead of focusing on themselves, they focus on the crowd. And that's the first step to dying before your time. It does not mean becoming selfish. It does not mean ignoring people or isolating yourself. It means building your life around your own values, not society's trends. Measuring your growth based on your own path, not someone else's timeline. Working in silence, healing in private, and living in alignment. Even when no one claps. In the age of social media, people compare their real life to someone else's edited highlight reel. You see someone's success and think, why am I so behind? But you don't see the debt they're hiding, the anxiety they're carrying, the truth behind the photo. When you compare, you forget your own uniqueness. You forget that you're not supposed to run their race. You were born to run yours. Imagine two runners. One is running a marathon, slow, steady, focused. The other is sprinting, fast, intense, and burning out quickly. Now imagine the marathon runner starts comparing himself to the sprinter. He tries to match his speed. What happens? He collapses. That's life. You were designed for your own pace, your own journey, your own timeline. If you try to copy someone else's path, you will exhaust yourself and never arrive. 1. Approval addiction. You do things not because they're right for you, but because you want to be liked. 2. Overconsumption. You watch too many people, you read too many opinions, and you forget your own voice. 3. Emotional distraction. You let other people's problems become your full-time job. You fix everyone else, while your own life is falling apart. How to start focusing on yourself. 1. Silence the noise daily. Take at least 30 minutes every day with no input, no phone, no scrolling, no talking. Use that time to think, write, walk, breathe. 2. Unfollow to refocus. If someone's content makes you feel small, anxious, or inadequate, unfollow. Protect your mental space like your life depends on it. 3. Define your own success. What does a good life mean to you? Not to your parents, not to your boss, not to the world. To you. Write it down. Build around that. 4. Celebrate small wins. Progress is personal. If you woke up earlier than yesterday, that's growth. If you controlled your anger today, that's power. Focus on your own ladder, not someone else's finish line. When you spend your whole life looking at others, you miss your own greatness. Focus is not selfish. Focus is sacred. Everyone dies, but not everyone focuses long enough to build a life worth living. Tune out the crowd. Tune into your soul. That's where your real life begins. Chapter 10. Smile often, because life is not a punishment. When was the last time you smiled? Not because something funny happened, but because you remembered that you are alive? Life is hard, but life is also precious. And most people walk through it with a frown, not because they're angry, but because they forgot how to see beauty in small things. Smiling is not weakness. It's not naivety. It's not pretending everything is okay. Smiling is strength. It is the courage to face life with hope. It is the decision to choose light, even in darkness. Because a smile is not just for your face. It heals your body. It resets your brain. It softens your heart. Because they're always chasing something. Next goal, next paycheck, next relationship, next success. And in that chase, they miss the moment. They say, "I'll smile when I make it." But the truth is, if you don't smile now, you won't smile then. Because happiness is not in the next thing. It's in your present presence. Studies show that even fake smiling sends signals to the brain to release serotonin and dopamine, chemicals that reduce stress and increase happiness. This means you can literally smile your way into a better emotional state, not by force, but by choice. When you smile, your brain believes you're safe. And when you feel safe, you open up to life again. There was a man who smiled at everyone on his bus ride every day. He didn't say a word, just smiled. One day, a woman stopped him and said, "I was going to end my life last week, but your smile reminded me that life can still have kindness, that someone sees me." One smile. No words. A life saved. You never know what your smile can do. Not just to others, but to yourself. How to smile more, even in a hard life. 1. Practice gratitude in micro moments. You don't need a big reason to smile. Warm tea, a deep breath, a memory, a breeze, a bird, a kind word. Start noticing the little lights in your day. 2. Make eye contact and acknowledge people. At the store, on the road, in your home. Look people in the eyes and offer them a real smile. It's free, and it's powerful. 3. Heal what's stopping your joy. If you haven't smiled in weeks, something deeper needs healing. Don't ignore it. Talk to someone. Write, reflect. Cry if you must. But don't let your light go out. 4. Laugh again. Watch something funny. Be around people who make you laugh. Don't be too grown up to enjoy life. Laughter is medicine. You were not born to live with a burdened face. You were born to shine. Don't let the pain of life steal the joy of being alive. Smile, not because everything is perfect. Smile because you are still here, still breathing, still becoming. Everyone dies, but not everyone smiles while they're still alive. Be the one who does. Because a smiling soul is a living soul. Listen carefully. This life is not a rehearsal. This is the real thing. No second take, no backup copy, no guarantee of tomorrow. And most people, they live like they're going to live forever. But they're not. They wait. They delay. They hide. Waiting for the right time. Waiting for permission. Waiting for confidence. But the truth is, you don't need more time. You need more courage. Courage to be who you really are. Courage to love again. Courage to walk away from what's killing your soul. Courage to take risks. Courage to start now. You came to this world for something, and deep down, you know it. So stop wasting your life just being alive. Live like you mean it. Live like you're on fire inside. Live like your story will outlive you. And if today is the day you woke up, then promise yourself this. From this moment on, I will live wide awake. I will not die with my dream still inside me. I will not leave this world quietly. I will live fully, deeply, loudly, truly, because I was not born to be forgotten. That's how you live. That's how you become immortal. If this video shook something inside you, if it reminded you of your power, your pain, your purpose, then this is just the beginning. Hit that subscribe button for your future, for the life you're about to build from this moment on. We're building something here, a world of people who don't just survive, but truly live. Join us, because everyone dies, but not everyone lives. Now it's your turn. Go live.